Okay, let's go.
Now, the next one is something I've actually talked about before because I actually really like these stories. And this is part of the reason why I started. No, not part. Oh, yeah. Part of the reason why I really started getting into folklore a lot, especially brujeria and the walls, Aztec mythology, things like that, is because a while back I did a story over lechuzas, which are witches that turn into owls. Bad habit. Whatever. Witches that turn into owls. And on TikTok, there was a guy that posted information, and he said no owls are whatever that turn into witches, blah 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 blah. And he specifically stated owls. And I was like, hey, I don't mean to be that guy. I posted I commented on his thing. I was like, but look, that's not true. I mean, technically, but not all on the walls are brujas, lechuzas. They're two separate entities. They're not the same thing. And the dude wrote something back condescending. And I think he even posted a video about it. But this is when I was first starting off as a streamer and content creator for TikTok. And that kind of spurred me. I was like, wait a minute. I'm just trying to I just did the research over this, and I'm just letting you know that you're mixing two different stories together. But this dude has a huge following on TikTok over Hispanic folklore. And also I think on Instagram too. I don't care. But turns out a couple of my fans that I have on there messaged back, and a couple other people too were like, yeah, this dude always does that. He doesn't care if you're right or wrong. It's just whatever he says. And there was also, this is the great part. There was a professor for Aztec mythology that wrote to me and told me yeah, this dude, he just says whatever he wants. And this is not right. And you could say anything right, oh, the professor, yeah, an actual legitimate professor at UTA, which is down the street from my house. This was right before that. This was before that. No, this was right at that when I moved into my house. So it was real. It's not like a made up story. I know, because just making stuff up. No, but that dude was really making stuff up, and it really bothered me because I don't mind what people say. I don't care if you don't agree with me. But when I have hard proof that I'm not just bullshitting, I just say, okay, cool, I got it wrong. That's it. But there's a lot of people who use the internet and they get stubborn. They're like, oh, they get real brave now, right? And same thing happened with the episode I did over African Americans in the Hispanic community. Because if you do your history, Mexico was very first on a lot of that stuff. And I got into an internet argument with people. I got into it. I had a beef on TikTok with the creator who kept denying African Americans that were Mexican. And I was like, as of 2012, that started appearing on the census that Mexico gives out. Probably older than that, but that's off the top of my head. I know it started appearing on the census. So whenever you did the census in Mexico, it actually was now a option to put as from African descent. And I have the best proof of this for everybody. I have the absolute best proof that this is the truest thing in the world. You see me, the brown that I am. Okay, my brothers are a little bit darker, not around my color, right? My uncle, man, this dude looks like he is not Mexican at all. He got the hair and everything, right? I'm gonna pull him up real quick. I was like, what is that noise? Oh my god. Let me pull up my uncle real quick, cause now I got this going. Wait, which? Oh, okay. I would have never found him because I was on my. On my Spooky Mysteries Facebook page, not my personal one. Now he used to be a lot darker. He's lightened up because he's old. I want to zoom in like on just him. I need a picture of just him. Can't do that. Oh my god, are you serious? Oh, he doesn't have much on his Facebook. Of course he wouldn't because he's old. But this is my uncle. This is my uncle and my cousin. Okay. Yes. It won't focus. Whatever. There's another way I could do it, and I'm going to, because now I got this going. Now it's in my head. Now I have to prove it. Hold your horses, everybody. Hold on. Oh, it's because there's like 50 things open right now. Cool. Don't need that open. Don't need that open. Close that. Is any unnecessary things open running? Don't need that open in the background. Okay, there you go. Do. And now you can go separately over here. And we're going to switch over to my personal account and pull up my uncle. Now this is him and my cousin. Where's that picture? I don't want that picture. Oh, there's a lot. Oh no, I was about to say there's a lot more pictures here, but no, there isn't. Hmm. The picture I wanted to use disappeared. What? Oh, there it is. Actually, no, I'll use this picture. This picture's better. So this picture that I'm gonna post, oh whatever, is a family picture, right? Or not post, but I'm gonna share. Hmm. There's. See, I shared it, right? So this is my aunt by marriage, his wife. This is my aunt. This is my mom, my grandparents, and my uncle. Look at that. There's a huge difference, right? And how do I get out of this? Stop sharing. There it goes. So like I said, like there's proof that this is true. It wasn't just something I made up. But when people try to argue these things that they're like, oh, it's not true, blah 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 blah. I'm like, I have the truth for you. Why won't you just accept it? Anyways, let's get back to the stories. Next one coming up, I'm gonna clip that because I'm gonna cut that out when I post it. Because y'all don't hear me ranting about me getting into beef with people. I need to be chewing on that when I talk because I will gag. Anyways, hold on. My lips a little dry. Think about the person you trust most, your neighbor, a good friend, maybe even a family member. Now, what if they had a secret? A secret that only comes out in the dead of night? What if they aren't who you think they are? What if they're a powerful sorcerer, able to shed their own skin and transform into a jaguar, a wolf, or something far more unsettling? This isn't just campfire stories. For many, this is a chilling reality. Behind the legend of the Nawal, Mexico's shape shifting enigma that could be living right next door. Dun dun dun. So, what is it, right? To really get the Nawal, you first have to understand what it is and what it isn't. The word comes from the Nahuatl language of the Aztecs, Nawali, which the Spanish quickly identified as meaning magician or sorcerer. Yeah, so they thought we were magical people. I mean, we are. We're amazing. But a closer meaning might be something like disguise. And this single idea is where the concept splits, creating a figure with a fascinating duality. On the one side, you have the tonal. In many Mesoamerican beliefs, every person is born with a spiritual link to a specific animal, a sort of guardian that acts as their counterpart for life. This tonal, is connected to your waking self, your personality, your place in the world. It's a concept built on harmony between people and nature. But then there's the other side of the coin, the path of the Nawal. The Nawal isn't just someone with a spirit animal, they are a sorcerer who has taken power to become that animal. While the Tonal is a spiritual companion, the Nawal is a human who has mastered the art of shape shifting. Now, some legends say that these powers. Now, some legends say these powers can be used for good to protect the community or heal the sick, but many more stories warn of those who use this gift for chaos, theft, and bloodshed. This isn't your typical werewolf curse, it's a conscious choice. A practitioner of powerful magic, sometimes called a brujo, who walks among the community by day and stalks the land as a beast by night. And that's the real terror of the Nawal. The monster isn't some creature hiding out in the woods, it's a person. It could be anyone. Now, I know I said brujo and Nawals are different because they are. Because they can transform into anything. The chusas are witches that can only transform into owls. Two separate things. Got to make myself clear because I know it sounded like I contradicted myself in my script. Two separate things. Don't make me argue with myself. I will. I'll look insane. Anyways, back to what we're saying. I'm going to cut that out too. I might leave it. I don't know. No, I'm going to cut that out. The many faces of the wall. See, like I said, more than one. The legend of the wall isn't one single story. It changes depending on who you are and who you ask. To really grasp the fear it inspires, let's look at the three most terrifying forms this figure can take. Form 1, the familiar betrayer. This is probably the most chilling version of the wall because of the Nawal, because it hits so close to home. Countless stories from rural Mexico don't talk about monsters in caves, they talk about neighbors. Picture a small, tight knit village. Suddenly, strange things start happening. Livestock is found viciously killed, not eaten, but torn apart as if for sport. Things go missing from homes, and a wave of fear and suspicion grips the community. Then one night, a man guarding his property wounds a huge, unnaturally aggressive coyote, trying to get at his goats. The beast yelps and vanishes into the night. The next morning, the quiet man who lives down the road is found dead in his bed. No, not dead. Cut. We're going to cut that part out because I wrote something different. The next morning, the quiet man who lives down the road is found in his bed suffering from a nasty, unexplained gash on his leg in the exact same spot the coyote was hit. And then the horrible truth sinks in. The chaos wasn't caused by a wild animal. It was one of their own, a Nawal, using an animal form to settle scores, steal, and create fear. This is the ultimate betrayer. The idea that the person you say good morning to every day could be the very thing terrorizing you at night is a deep, personal kind of horror. It could turn communities on each other, where mere accusation of Nagualism could lead to violence, much like the witch trials. Form 2, the beast of the wild. While the human element is creepy, you can't ignore the raw fear of the Nawal's animal forms. These aren't just clumsy transformations. The sorcerer is a master of their new body. The most powerful and feared Nawals were said to take the form of America's apex predators, the jaguar and the puma. Ancient Aztec art is full of were jaguars, showing just how deep this belief runs. the god of Tezcatlipoca, a major figure in the Aztec pantheon and a patron of Nagualism, was himself deeply linked to the jaguar. And these weren't just big cats. Stories describe them moving with an unnatural intelligence and a pure malice. A Nawal in jaguar form wouldn't just hunt, it would stalk travelers on lonely roads, its eyes glowing with a sinister green light. They were said to be incredibly strong and cunning, able to vanish into thin air or cover huge distances in the blink of an eye. The transformations weren't just limited to jaguars either. A sorcerer might become a coyote to spread chaos, an owl to spy on their victims, or even a bat to drink the blood of the living, or the sleeping, I mean. The terror is twofold. Any animal could be a person in disguise, and the most powerful sorcerers could choose the perfect form for whatever dark deed they had planned. So this is also why I've said that vampires aren't just um, a European thing. That Bram Stoker did not create the vampire. He created, did the retelling of Dracula, but there's these stories go further back. Not just Vlad the Impaler. You have ancient Aztec sorcerers who could turn into bats and drink the blood of people that are sleeping. That's truly one of the first forms of a vampire. I mean, you got to admit, how far back do you want to go? Because we got Aztecs. The vampire are just sorcerers. I think Mexico got the first vampire. I gotta say, I think we might be close to cracking. Where did the story of the vampire originate? Vlad the Impaler, or is it something older? It's something older. It's Aztec mythos. Sorry, I got distracted again. I'm sorry. Let's get back to we're barely on form number 3. Form number 3, the master sorcerer. The most powerful Nawals are said to have abilities far beyond just shape-shifting. They are masters of the unseen world, some of the wildest legends, which sometimes blur the lines with traditions like those of the brujas or witches. See, two separate things. They claim they can transform into natural phenomena. The most common of these is the ability to become a ball of fire, shrieking across the night. Other tales even suggest they could become a sudden gust of wind or a thick, disorientating fog. These figures are more like elemental forces. Their powers are said to include invisibility, creating a terrifying illusion, and the ability to both cause and cure diseases. In some communities, the powerful Nawals were both feared and respected, sometimes hired as spiritual protectors or even assassins. This elevates the Nawal from a simple monster to something way more complex. You can't fight the wind with the gun. How do you kill a shadow? This suggests a being that has pushed past the limits of humanity, touching a source of dark primal magic. Little call to action here. The Nawal is a legend from Mexico and Central America, but shapeshifter stories are found all over the globe. What are the local legends where you live? Is there a creature that hides in plain sight? A monster that just looks like a normal person? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your local stories. Let's get back to it. The legend of the Nawal isn't just a spooky story. Its roots dig deep into the history and spirituality of Mesoamerica, going back centuries before the Spanish ever arrived, with connection to the Olmec, Maya, and Aztec civilizations. For these cultures, the spiritual and physical worlds weren't separate, they were completely intertwined. The idea of a human soul having an animal companion, a tonal, was a core part of their worldview. The powerful Aztec god Tezcatlipoca, known as the smoking mirror and a god of night and sorcery, was the patron of Nagualism. This tells you that the ability to shapeshift wasn't automatically seen as evil. It was a source of incredible power tied directly to the gods. In fact, rulers and high priests, the most powerful people in society, were often believed to be Nawals. Their ability to transform a sign of their divine authority. Everything changed when the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century. They brought their own worldview, one shaped by the horrors of the Inquisition. They saw the Nawal not as a powerful shaman, but as a devil-worshipping witch. The Nahuatl word for Nawali was translated to brujo, a sorcerer who made a pact with the devil. The practice of Nagualism was brutally suppressed and forced into the shadows. This clash of cultures created the version of the Noir that's most famous today, a terrifying mix of indigenous belief and colonial fear. The spiritual power of the shaman was twisted into the malevolent magic of the witch. The animal transformation, once a sacred bond with nature, became a monstrous disguise for evil. The legend has survived for so long because it carries this deep cultural memory, a story of power, suppression, and the fear of what hides just beneath the surface of our world. When I get writing, I get writing. Conclusion: could they still exist? From the ancient Aztec Empire to the rural villages of modern Mexico, the story of Nahual has terrified generations. It's a legend that has survived conquest and centuries. Still whispered about around late night fires, tales of strange encounters still surface to this day. People report seeing massive, dog like creatures with an unsettling intelligence in their eyes. In states like Chiapas and Oaxaca, the belief in the law is still a living part of their culture, and a reminder that the old ways and the old fears haven't gone away. The Nawal represents one of our most primal fears, the monster that looks just like us. It's that chilling idea that the person you trust could be a predator in disguise. It's a master of deception, a sorcerer walking the line between human and beast, the natural and the supernatural. So the next time you hear a strange scratch at your door late at night, or see the glowing eyes of an animal watching you from the darkness, you have to ask yourself, is it just a wild animal? Or is it something more? Is it a neighbor or a stranger, wearing the disguise of a fur and fangs? Is it a Nawal here to bring a little chaos into your world? Thank you for joining me on this trip into the shadows. If you ever had an encounter with something you couldn't explain, or if you know a Nawal story from your own family, please share it in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more explorations into the world's most fascinating legends. Stay safe and maybe keep an eye on who or what is living next door.